In your city with them stoners, bend the corner, bend the corner. I'm in Portland in that foreign, that's a thong. Straight out the corner. Smoking loud from Seattle, supersonic. We on that loud. We been drinking, ain't no driver, Uber coming. Up out of cloud. On that moon rock, cause I'm a shooting comet. Cause I'm a star. I'm on that moon rock, so I be walking on it at the job. In the country, out the country, I'm just country. Country grandma. Horsepower, make a nigga act a donkey. Get me riding through your city, bend the corner, bend the corner. Every time I leave the bank, I bend the corner, I bend the corner. H-Town, A-Town, California. We on the block, burning gas, burning rubber, bend the corner. We bout to jump passing that gas, while my foot smashing that gas, and my car passing that ass. Got a $100 on my dash. Catch me riding through your city, bend the corner, bend the corner. Every time I leave the bank, I... Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. We are the mob. M to the O B. I know we do it. Memphis Overboard. Another good Wednesday. Right. Yeah, another good Wednesday brought to you by the good people at the MOB. You dig? Yeah. I want to talk about, before we get into the main topics, I always preach policing your own community, right? So don't just leave it there. Police your own community. Provide for your own family. Educate your own children. Yeah. That way, we have to stop being so dependent on these people. I mean, since we on episode 19, I know that's at least 18 weeks of me telling you all about the corruption that's going on in Memphis. Everybody focuses on the crime and it's just so much crime. What's going on? We need more police officers. We need a new commissioner. That's not that ain't it. Until we wake up and take responsibility for what's going on, these issues are going to continue to happen. It's just how it is. So as you all can see, the main topic of the day, the feds taking pictures. Yeah, the feds are in Memphis, Tennessee, as we speak, for investigating discrimination against blacks by the Memphis Police Department. All right? So this is something very serious. So it's like I came at the right time. But my biggest issue is the police chief, CJ Davis. I've done research. I've spoken on her before. And for the record, this is not a political show. This is a Memphis show. But the politics in Memphis are affecting us. And I never hear anything about it because the media and all of these things are being controlled. The only thing we see is the outcome of the crime that's happening. But yeah, people are stealing money. There's a lot going on. We got the marshals here, the sheriff department. We have every form of law enforcement in this city that we could have. Yet the crime just continues to grow and grow and grow because they pass blame. The DA passed the blame to the mayor passed to the DA, the judicial's office, and all of these different things. But they can't explain these things that we're going to talk about today. Main thing, the feds are taking pictures, not of us, but of the Memphis Police Department. Like I said, right. Like I said, it is complete corruption. Now I'm going to start off with CJ Davis. The opening topics are going to be mostly about the Memphis Police Department. Look within what is really happening in your city. I want everyone to be awake and to know, and not just go depend on WREG and all these news outlets. Anyway, I'll get to CJ Davis a little bit more. P Money, what up, homie? We getting into this corruption, man. We back on the corruption, bro. I'm happy to see you back, bro. Hope you enjoyed your trip, brother. Let's get into it, though. CJ Davis, criminal. CJ stands for corrupt and janky.
$280,000. That's approximately the salary of Memphis Police Chief CJ Davis. It's actually just a little bit more. And that's significant. It's a significant increase from her starting salary when she first began with the department 2 years ago.
Fox 13 government reporter Kayla Solomon is joining us tonight from the Breaking News Center. Kayla, this would make Chief Davis the highest paid city employee.
Darcy, to put that money into perspective for you, Chief Davis is in charge of about 2,000 police officers here in Memphis, but she makes about $40,000 more than the New York City Police Commissioner, who's in charge of 30,000 officers. Now, the question is, how did it get?
So, CJ Davis, the police chief, pimping hard. CJ Davis is making more money than the mayor of Memphis, right? Realize that. Take note of that.
To this point, the answer is it's due to a 14% pay raise that also applies to her.
It's silly. It's silly and disrespectful.
With a federal investigation just getting started, as well as a civil lawsuit looming, Memphis Police Chief CJ Davis is under fire, this time for another pay boost.
14% pay increase for those individuals who are receiving about $50,000 a year. That's something completely different than a 14% increase for someone who's receiving well over six figures.
Memphis City Council Vice Chairman J.B. Smiley Jr. says it comes from a 14% pay increase for officers that was passed in the budget. But Smiley admits what he didn't know is that Davis and her command staff would also get that same boost.
It is my belief that every member of the Memphis City Council believed that the pay increases were going to those individuals who were on the street every single day.
In 2021, Davis's salary was just under $235,000, according to city salary records. Now it's up to more than $280,000. For perspective, police recruits had to jump from about $42,000 to $54,000. And she makes about $100,000 more than Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland, whose salary is listed at slightly more than $170,000. When we reached out to the city to ask about Chief Davis's salary, a spokesperson said, quote, Chief Davis receives cost of living salary increases just as any public safety employee has each fiscal year.
14% pay increase for cost of living. I'm just going to call BS. The council may take a wait and see approach, or the council may pass legislation that deals with these type of increases.
Now, coming up at 10, I'll break down what this looks like in other cities across the nation, as well as in this region for their police chiefs.
That is Fox 13's Kayla Solomon reporting live from the Breaking News Center tonight. Thank you so much, Kayla.
I can't let her get her bread, bro. I can't let her get her bread. It ain't just about, it just ain't about the money, man. I don't mind if you do what you do, get paid. Nobody cares, bro. But it's like, nah, she's not in the field, bro. She's not actually in the field. The ones who should have gotten that money are the ones in the field. Like, so the ones that should have gotten the money, the increase in pay, are for the actual police. She shouldn't make more than the mayor, man. I'm just saying, bro. It's like, ain't all about money. I understand this, you know, you can feel that, but it's about corruption. When you steal, you and I steal, we go to jail. Now, it's not just this, you know, that's the story here in Memphis. Now, right, that's on top of that, like, it's like getting hired for something and it's just not doing your job. On top of that, being corrupt, man, it's just, it's ridiculous, bro. All right, CJ Davis, before she was here, she was a chief in Durham, North Carolina, right? All right, so here it is. Here it is, P Money. Here it is for me. She was a police chief in Durham, North Carolina, and a black man. I feel you. I understand. I ain't worried about her paper. But it's like, it's not even about the paper. It's just about the corruption, bro. Just hear me out on this. A black man go by the name of Frank Clark was killed by the police, right? They say he pulled a gun on the police officers while she was the chief in Durham, North Carolina. Now, the police found that even though they had video evidence didn't show a gun, him holding a gun at all. They never found the evidence of the gun neither, right? So the gun was never found and the gun was never seen on video. She covered it up in Durham. That was Durham, North Carolina. Moving on. Next is the Red Dog Unit in Atlanta. Like, these things, they had nothing to do with money. Get your money. I never knew how much the police chief made anyway. Never cared. Here's the thing. Red Dog unit in Atlanta killed a 92-year-old black woman when executing a no-knock warrant. She covered that up because the Red Dog unit was something she put together, just like the Scorpion unit, right? Got another one for you though. Another one for you. I know she's black. This is the thing about it. I've been sparing her, bro. We can't keep doing it though. She can be whatever color, but you can't do this. I care about my city, and it's the same thing that's been going on. Anyway, now here's the worst one of them all, right? All right, so it was the husband of an Atlanta police officer, right? They found pictures of one of the Atlanta police officers' husbands, right? With young girls, ages 12 to 15. Ages 12 to 15. I think this was done in 2002, and they didn't uncover the story until 2007. CJ Davis, she knew about the pictures already. They found that out. She covered it all up. See what I'm saying? The history of this. And these things were done before she came to Memphis. So I make a bigger point that they want to see. The things about why I'm exposing this is that there is a motive to keep Memphis corrupt. I can't be real. I can't be 95% real. And because she a sister and she making her money and she all 95% fake, we just ain't gonna meet up halfway, bro. So I'm in support of everybody getting paid for it, especially my people. But, you know, we got to think when we do these fraudulent things, you got to think how hard she's making it for the next sister that's going to get that position or the next brother that wants to get in that position because she ain't do what she had to do. Just do right, man. That's just what I'm saying. I don't about to care about that. I'm not a law official. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, those things, bro, you can't cover that up. Man, appreciate that, Price. Yeah, so we just got to be real about it. And I like, man, it's in my position, before I go on to the next story, my position is, it's weird, bro, because I actually want to clean up our community, right? Our people, help our people out, do the right thing. People take up, it's a fine line between the two. That's exactly what I mean, Houston. I'll touch on that in a second. The thing about it, it's like, well, aren't you for our people? Yes. So when some people's like, well, you don't call out black because they're black, you don't call them out. I can't get involved in that, bro. We have to put the goals first. And if it's hurting our people, if it's our people hurting our people, then who do you put first? You put an individual over our people? I can't do it. So we need to, you know, I want her to do the right thing. I actually took too long to talk about these things, but we do that. We can't turn the blind eye to these things. Anyway, yeah, because they doing a lot of corrupt stuff. That the police department doing these things leads to criminal things. People don't trust the police. It's bigger than just this. Trust me. Now, the fact that the feds are investigating Memphis, they already had an open investigation on Memphis before Tyree Nichols. They had an open investigation going on the Memphis Police Department for discrimination against blacks before they even hired her. So it's not all her. And like you said, good point, Houston, who hired her? They should be held accountable. But we know in that situation what they're going to do. They're going to play the blame game like they always do. They're going to play it until these feds get on them, bro. Like, hey, look, I don't want nobody to get locked up. If you know me, you know how I get down. Don't get mad at me. The feds are taking pictures, my boy. All right? But yeah, I understand that. I don't count nobody paper. Get all the paper you want, but when it's affecting the community, man, we gotta hold them accountable, bro. Now, like this, she's over this. This man said he was raped by the Memphis Police Department. And he said, hey, look, I don't want to be Tyree Nichols. I don't want murals. I don't want that. I want my acknowledgement right now. You think she didn't know about this? I guarantee you she's hired to cover up, bro. If you notice her track record, she's covering things up. That's corruption. If I got to go to jail for stealing a Snicker bar, you damn sure got to go to jail for covering up a child molestation ring. I was just saying, man, I don't give a damn what color you are. I'm just being real.
6:34, the U.S. Justice Department is investigating how Memphis police officers use force and conduct arrests. The DOJ says MPD may be disproportionately focusing its traffic enforcement on black drivers. Allegations started piling up long before Tyree Nichols was beaten to death. This morning, in a story you'll only see here, Bria Jones talks to a man who's suing the police department because of what he says happened to him.
Thing. In this area, I can put it however I want.
You're now looking at body camera footage WREG obtained from a 2019 incident involving MPD officers. Complaints of situations like this are what prompted this announcement Thursday.
The U.S. Department of Justice is opening a civil rights investigation into the city of Memphis and the Memphis Police Department to determine whether there is a pattern or practice of conduct that violates the Constitution.
In 2019, the man you see here, DeAndre Billingsley, alleged excessive use of force after he was detained in Binghamton. His pending lawsuit says he was wrongfully stopped, detained, and raped by an MPD officer. Billingsley says the incident happened after he pulled over to talk with a friend who was also patted down.
They just jumped out the car and he slapped his hands on the hood, like hands on the hood now, like never asked me my name.
He says what happened next he was not expecting.
You check it crack good.
He stuck a finger in my anus, said he was looking for drugs.
Jake Brown is Billingsley's attorney.
You determine excessive force based on whether the amount of force was unreasonable for the circumstances. And in my client's case, it certainly was. I mean, they inserted a finger into his anus without following the proper statutory protocols.
In Billingsley's case, he says while marijuana was found on his friend, officers found no drugs on him, and eventually he was let go. He and his attorney believe the federal investigation into MPD is warranted to end a culture that disproportionately impacts black and brown lives.
Hit the like buttons, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, I'm sorry, I can't say it. Hit the like button, though, y'all. Show that love.
It's a pattern of treating certain members of certain communities in this city as less than, entitled to fewer rights, entitled to less protection, and that is not what the law says.
I shouldn't have to die for my voice to be heard. I don't want to be the next Tyrese Nichols or George Floyd. I mean, I need my story to be heard while I'm still breathing.
Wow, the DOJ says it wants input from citizens during this investigation. We have information on how to participate on our website, WREG.com.
He said, I ain't waiting on mine. Yeah. Complete corruption, man. That's what I'm saying. They were doing this before, like I told y'all, when like, you know, we didn't have the mob when Tyree Nichols went through what he went through, but I always talk about the men and women, for that matter, that have been affected by the police officers, by these Scorpion units. You know, where I grew up, I saw these units all day, all long, running through the hood. Yeah, my boy was violated. Seriously violated. Pay that man. Pay that man. Pay that man. CP, I ain't got no problem. Get him his paper ASAP. And who was that police officer? We need that name released. But yeah, like I was saying, Tyree Nichols. We always draw, you know, emotions to these things and attention to these things because of Tyree Nichols unfortunately lost his life. That was very unfortunate. I don't want to make light of that. But the thing that I want people to always keep in mind is the police have always done these things. Let's say that he didn't die and he was beaten to the point of almost dying. This happens often, everyone. No one cares. See what I'm saying? Due to Tyree losing his life and him having a loving family that pushed forward, we got something from it. We got attention drawn to it. And now these things are starting to, you see the little trickle effect on it. But if you don't look, I got friends that have all kinds of things that have been done to them by the police. You know what I'm saying? Like limping, you know, gashes, things that won't ever heal the same. And you can say what you want. They shouldn't have run from the police. Maybe they were breaking the law. Nah, it's not even about that. And I know Tyree was innocent, but even if you're guilty of that crime, arrest me, take me to jail. It's not your job to beat me to an inch of my life because you're upset. But your chief is telling you this. And I also want to talk to y'all about this. Every job that I've ever worked has a pre-shift meeting. Every industry that you work in, they have a pre-shift meeting, letting everyone know the idea and the energy of what's needed and what's expected of his employees, right? So, what do you think is the pre-shift meeting at the Memphis Police Department? Understand that there's a temperature that's being set by the leaders. Hey, we cracking down on this. We cracking down on speeding. We're cracking down on truancy. We're cracking down on begging. They have focus. So the focus here was to kick ass, right? That's what I'm telling you. So if all these things, these officers they take orders. You say, what you saying with that, Pete? Like who, what they're giving us? You trying, I got you. I got you trying to say this, directing the focus off of what's important. But yeah. Oh, you speaking about what I said about Tyree Nichols, losing his life. All the people that didn't lose their life, like nobody cares about that. That's why I'm happy this is being exposed, man. These are things we know. But I'm telling you, growing up, and then my friends in here that I grew up, a few of them in here now, they know, hey, where we grew up, we accepted some of this corruption, man. We accepted it as life in the hood. We accepted it as like, hey, man, you're going to get your ass beat if you run from the police. We didn't know. All thing we knew was our environment that we grew up in. So we accepted a lot of corrupt things that I know before the internet, before the cell phones, before all of these things happened. We accepted them. But that's corruption, bro. So now I use my voice because I know kids that are like me, that are growing up, they don't think they have a voice. So whose responsibility is it? Think about it. Think about it. All right. Now, this brother here was man, I'm telling you, the MPD department is corrupt. Stop. We can't just talk about the crime. We always talk about them. There are real criminals wearing suits in Memphis, wearing badges. Yeah, they wear them nice suits. And y'all think they're the good people. But like I said, police your own community, right? Provide for your own family and educate your own children, bro. That way you don't have a problem with Memphis City Schools, the MPD, and all these things, man. Go get your own money. You don't need government assistance. Mike, I see you, boy. What's up with it? Ricochet. All right, check this out, though. The MPD recruit, he was a black young brother in the Memphis Police Department. He witnessed a few things. Now, hear what this man says about his experience.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shay Arthur. First tonight, as the Department of Justice investigates the Memphis Police Department, a former recruit is speaking about the work environment before he could even get a badge. WREG's Jordan James is live tonight after speaking to him about his claims. And Jordan, what's he telling you and why is he sharing his story?
Hey, Shay, that former recruit grievances with MPD go back to 2021. He says there's not a day that goes by that he doesn't think about his experience. He's speaking out now in light of the investigation by the DOJ.
2 years after submitting resignation papers to the Memphis Police Department.
Never forgot any of the things that I went through.
A former police recruit who doesn't want to be identified is speaking out about the culture he claims he experienced while going through the training academy.
There are some good officers there, but the bad officers outshine them. And so that it really needs to be something did about those bad officers.
Over a few months, the man says he witnessed and experienced multiple instances of discrimination against race and religion.
Some of them have a master-slave mentality. It's very belittling. And it just, I couldn't deal with it. And how they treat other black people was a big issue. They didn't never talk to the white officers the way that they speak to the black officers.
These past...
Dude, listening to how this sounds as a black man in a predominantly black city, and it's still racism within the police department. They speak to the black officers, the black recruits differently than they do the white. We know these things go on, but we have to talk about these things. shout out to him for being brave enough to at least lend his voice. He didn't show his face, but I appreciate him because he can talk from a first-hand experience. I get called out on some things. They're like, well, have you been in the police department, Holiday? You don't know what they're doing in there. They don't, that's racism. Yes, it is. Now, when you hear these things from a first-hand standpoint, you cannot deny them. You see, I have no ties to anyone but the truth. These folks have ties and responsibilities, obligations.
Allegations come at a time where the Department of Justice is investigating MPD after receiving multiple complaints of excessive force, making improper stops, and racial disparities, which prompted them to investigate their pattern and practices.
I'll touch on that shortly, Houston, after this video. Good question, though.
Look forward to working together with the city and police department towards the shared goals of ensuring constitutional and non-discriminatory policing and promoting greater cooperation between law enforcement officers and the community.
A big part of the DOJ's investigation will include getting input from the community about their experiences with MPD, which the former recruit plans on doing so as he looks to put this chapter behind him.
Some people do choose to be officer because they really do want to make an honest living and they do want to make Memphis a better place, but it's hard for them to do that when the majority don't have that same mindset.
And I can tell you that the former recruit says he doesn't plan on returning to law enforcement anytime soon. We did reach out to MPD for their side of the story, but never heard back. For now, reporting here live outside of North Main Precinct, Jordan James, WREG, News Channel 3.
Okay, Jordan, thanks for that. And that community meeting that Jordan just talked about, hosted by the DOJ, is this week on Zoom. The meeting is August 1st from 6:30 to 7:30 in the evening. You're urged to discuss your experiences with the Memphis Police Department. You must register online. The DOJ plans to host more in-person community meetings in the near future. We've posted information on our website, WRG.com. Just be sure you click on this story.
No, we got some good action on the chat, Ma. I'm going to open up the phone line in a minute, at least try. You know, we ain't did this interface in a minute. But yeah, as you can see, good question. Houston asks, why aren't more young brothers joining the police force and working to promote change from within? That is a good question, brother. But as you can see, the corruption and it's just the idea of our experiences as black men with the police, man, it's just not good. We don't feel like we have enough control to change, and I can almost agree with them if they feel that way. It seems like even with her being the chief of police, it's like you got to that by being corrupt, right? I'm trying to get the phone lines up. We'll work on that in a minute, but yeah. She did that by being corrupt. So I wish we did have more brothers doing that. I mean, but I just think we need to focus on our own community. We're trying to use these things to rebuild, and it's just not, to be realistic, we might be in too deep with them. But I think that's why I'm saying to police your own community will be to raise your, police your own children. Keep your own eye on your own block, on your own neighborhood, right? Provide for your own family and, educate your own children. Because it's just getting to a point where we know what's going to happen. We're waiting on these folks to do their jobs, and it's not going to happen, man. But at the end of the day, Memphis is predominantly black. So we shouldn't even need these people to really do too much. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you, all of these issues that we're having, that we're complaining about education, and they still gonna say, what about the household? It's all about the home. What are the parents doing? So you can complain about these things all we want, but it's still gonna always come back to the home. It's always gonna come back to the community. And do we have one? And if we do have one, how strong is it? I got one more MPD story, but
Off-duty Memphis police officer arrested on charges of drunk driving and running a red light. Memphis police say Officer Verlene Washington had slurred speech and vodka in the car when she ran a red light and crashed on North Germantown Parkway near Macon. Police say Washington told police that she was a police officer too. She is charged with DUI and disregarding a red light.
They look, this is the reason why I say, because I don't really care about with that, you know, they let her ass go immediately. Well, I mean, y'all gonna keep old girl for that stealing? She just went out. That was my point about how one law is more severe than another. I get more with the severity of it, but I mean, they all should be punished the same. She instantly lost her job, but the police chief keeps hers. Right? This is crazy, man. This is that's all I wanted to show was the corruption in Memphis. Let me see. Hey, anybody want to call in? We didn't do the graphic for the call-in number, but the line is up. Let me put it in case anybody wants to call. Chat mob, holler at you, boy. I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. It is 901-667-4404. Yeah, we changed the number. We had to change the number too. Right, that's the point of it, P. I mean, obviously that's not happening. That's not happening. Like I said, like even with the point Houston made, it's like, hold up, think about this. Think about your jobs where you hired. The person who hires you is held responsible when they do a background check on you. They're like, hey, this dude got history of theft, violence, all of these things, and you still hired them. Did you do a background check? Right? So if you did a background check on her as the police chief and you saw all those, if I could figure it out, if I could research these things, trust me, whoever hired her knew. So my question is, don't you hold them accountable? And when you wonder, like, what were you looking at? What was your reason for hiring her? It's just a good question. All right, so on to this. I wanted to talk about this coming to Memphis. Memphis Code Crew, because this is really some real talk right here. We know we got to the corruption. Well, we gotta go to, and anybody call in, you want to talk about the Memphis Police Department, I'm all ears to that. You know, tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Yo, you are live on the mob.
How's it going, Ryan? Good to see you, man.
What's going on, Price?
One of the topics that I wanted to touch on, man, when you talked about one of your commenters asked, well, why wasn't more young blacks going into trying to join the police force?
Right.
You know, it's not a profession that's usually sold to us when we're young. We see the dramatic and the glamorous aspect of it from watching TV.
Right.
But more importantly, there should be a focus on making sure that, you know, especially young black men don't have criminal records that'll disqualify them from having government and state jobs like that. Because, you know, it's like going to the military. They take you at 18 not because you're in the best shape physically, you're in the worst shape mentally because you don't know if you're a kid or an adult at that point. So one of the focuses should be, you know, starting in high school to teach us how easy it is to get into the criminal justice system and how impossible it is for us to get out of it.
True. That's something my father always taught me. You know, stay out of the system is very, very easy to get into, very difficult to get out of. Do you think that we had more? Do you think we could maybe improve things though? Just with, when I say police our own community, when I say our own, it's us. Do we need more officers that look like us? We just need good officers. Which do you think?
Well, we can have a ton of officers that look like us. It's about the mentality of the officers
Yes.
to get into those positions. That's the thing.
True.
Because we can have 1,000 Ben Carson, you know, and only have one, you know, Farrakhan. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand totally. I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. It's not even about how people look. It's about the actions and, you know, the cause.
Yeah, I got a really good friend from Atlanta that I grew up with here, man, that was living in Atlanta when Davis was chief down there, man. We're both enjoying the podcast, man. We love your work.
Hey, man, tell him if he wants to call in and tell us a few things about his experiences. We're all ears, but I appreciate that, Price.
All right, man. We'll reach out again.
All right, brother. You see what I'm saying? I mean, he's from Atlanta, and that's not the information about that she's involved in. That's not hard to find, man. So it makes the question remains, how did she get that position? Right? Good friend of the show. Price always come with the information. I appreciate it. I'm happy to have that phone line back open. But yeah, on to this. Now, we got to think about, like I said, police your own community. Educate your own children. Now, you got to think that things are changing. The whole entire world is changing around us. So they got something coming here. They're hosting this, Code Crew hosting an app building competition called Hackathon. That's in Memphis, right? Now, Hackathon is it's going to be here from August 3rd through the 5th at the FedEx Institute of Technology. Now, it's the 9th annual hackathon, bring together bright minds. What they're really trying to do is compete on young kids that can make apps. Not just children, but like teenage, adolescent kids that can make apps. And boy, it's all about, you know, transformation potential of artificial intelligence with the aim to inspire and empower diverse students to understand. So they want to help kids make an impact solutions with artificial intelligence, which is the future. Hackathon participants will work all day Friday, August 4th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, August 5th to complete their apps and present to a distinguished panel of judges. Teams will be supported by Code Crew staff and volunteers from the Memphis Tech community. We need our children a part of this. This is the future. Don't give them up. I know my son, he's going to be involved in this. It's no doubt that going forward, we can't keep giving them like, you're going to be a good rapper. You're the best rapper. You're the best ball player. Nah, we got to think about the future with these apps, with coding, and with the AI. Because as advanced as things are getting, someone has to control and keep an eye on the artificial intelligence too. But you can't just think of yourself as our children are not going to do the same things that we're doing, or the children of the future aren't going to do the same things that we're doing. So this is a good look that is here in Memphis. You know any kids, you know anybody that that is into this type of things. I wish we had more kids into these kind of things. Instead of this, I mean, see, keep this in mind. While this is happening, our kids, well, not all, they're being deemed thieves. They're stealing cars. But I'm telling you, even the good ones aren't focused on this because we got to put their focus on it. Right? They're not thinking about it. I mean, if you're a teenager, you ain't thinking about nothing but what you're going to wear tomorrow, the clothes you're going to wear tomorrow, like, you know, where your friends going to hang out. It's up to us. So if you can get to this, get your kids to this, and, you know, put them in something, even if they're not into it. I don't give a damn. Come with me. You may hear something you like. That's why I'm talking about with being a YouTuber and a gamer and being a, you know, making these texts, these guys. You got to understand the new wave. Push this. This is the mentality I'm pushing because things aren't going to be like they are now. You go on Walmart, you don't even have to check out. The cashier's gone. You know what I'm saying? So even the factory jobs, they're going to be gone in the next 15 to 20 years, bro. I'm just telling you the truth. The person that's going to be working in these buildings is going to be some kind of programmer. That's all they're going to need is a programmer. Not you, not me, not none of that. So keep that in mind, because if you don't want your kids to end up in that kind of situation, bro, it's going to be ugly. Now, I get on the rappers. I get on rappers for this. Shout out to Pooh Shiesty and K Carbon. K Carbon's Pooh Shiesty's artist. I got to get to these. Everybody, I don't really focus on what the rappers doing or what they saying. I really don't care. But this was a good look. It's something that we should start doing. I wish we had more of this. They did a great job. I had video footage of it, but, nevertheless, they gave back backpacks, school supplies. Pooh Shiesty's right now, he's in jail, but, try to do something positive for the community. And I don't want to focus on where he is and what he is. That's negative. But shout out to the young brother for trying to do something positive and give back, because small things like this are things that you can grow from. And then, trust me, they look up to Pooh. Shout out to Pooh Shiesty. I wish you could have, Pooh Shiesty would have got a patent on those little Shiesty masks. All these corner stores selling right now, they call them Shiesty masks, man. Hey, bro, we missed another one. But, yeah. Now, right now, it's something else going on in Memphis right now. See, this is the thing. We're going to play the politics game right now, right? Because they did something. They did something in Memphis, Tennessee. I appreciate that, love. Memphis, Tennessee Tennessee, rather. The state of Tennessee this month. For the next 3 months, you don't have to pay taxes on your groceries. Next 3 months. But here's the thing. There are only 13 states that charge taxes on groceries. Right? Only 13 states in the country that charge taxes on groceries. Tennessee being one of them. So celebrate this all you want, but keep that in mind. It's all about playing these games with you to make you happy about something that others have. Anyway, you still can save money, though.
More savings are on the way for Tennessee shoppers next weekend, in fact. In a matter of days, the state's grocery tax holiday, I'm ready for this one, kicks off.
And it lasts a while. Fox 13, your money investigator Kay Beery explains when it starts and when it ends.
For 3 whole months, you won't have to pay taxes on food you buy in Tennessee. A Memphis financial expert recommends saving the dollar that you would have spent on taxes.
For 3 months, okay, yes, it's going to be really good, especially with school starting and stuff.
From Onion.
She was just so happy with school starting and stuff. It's no Sundays. Hey, you probably can go to the next state and get the same thing. Tennessee touches how many states? How many states do we touch? 6? Somebody right in the surrounding area, we can get it for the same price all year round. It's information.
To eggs, your groceries will be tax-free in Tennessee for 3 months.
Everybody eats a lot.
No matter the size of your family, it will make a difference.
Not really a big family, but a hungry family, so we eat a lot.
Kobe Bates and Dedrick Smith can't wait.
Because you could use that $10, $15 on something else you need.
What can I spend this on? What can I not borrow, and what can I save?
The CEO of Forward Memphis encourages Tennessee families to save the money that they would have spent on taxes.
Oh, that's why I think budgeting is so important, because if you do not budget, that money just gets eaten up in something else. But $135 over 3 months, that's something that you can put away for Christmas.
The state taxes groceries at 4%. Shelby County taxes groceries at 2.25%. And many towns and cities tack on an extra 0.5%. That's a max of 6.75% total.
Corruption.
Let's say your family spends $150 a week on groceries. With this holiday, you would save about $10.13 a week. And over 3 months, that's a saving of $121. Maurice Williams had to make an emergency cat food trip on Friday.
My kitties couldn't wait, and they had to have their food, and they are persistent.
But come next week, he'll be saving on what the humans in his house eat.
And do my real grocery shopping.
So if you wait just a few more days to grab that grocery cart and go shopping, you might just save a few dollars on taxes.
Yeah, that's that. But I just thought I'd share that because of how they made that happen and how they making it like seem like it's just such a great thing. And but it's valuable information. Nevertheless, we live in the state of Tennessee where we pay a lot. I know I pay a lot on on groceries, bro. I might get paid more in grocery taxes than almost anything. Can't get around that. You can't get around that. Now, got a few more. Steve Morroy versus Cohen. There's been one case of Western Nile found in Shelby County too. Yeah. I want to talk about one of these shows, one of these episodes upcoming. I want to talk about some things that Andrew Tate is doing that I think that we could do here that's needed to be done as far as men setting the standard in Memphis, Tennessee, in America, period, as black men. We don't have that. People are almost afraid to reestablish ourselves as men, wearing tailored suits, fathers, honest men, setting some type of example for our community. You can't expect how the youth is going to look at it because they don't really understand it yet. We understand how America views us as a people. And if we're the leaders of our community, we have to come together first. The men, it's all I know. If we're the leaders, we have to come together first. And I think everybody else will fall in line behind us. See a lot of these things going on. I want to talk about this brother. Shout out to him because it goes back to my code. I know we're getting late in the show. I guess I'll use this as one of the last stories. He made an app. Memphis made an app. And I think it's called Nabra. But it's a trivia app for Memphis. And, with apps, you make these things and you put these ads. You make a free app and you sell ads and you sell this to come on, $5 service. Like I said, something I want us to talk about, the children. But I just wanted to support the brother because I thought this was a good idea because we're always talking about doing the same thing. And I'm trying to tell everybody, the tech industry, and I even count YouTubing, that's tech to me. The tech industry is growing with technology growing at the rate it is growing at.
His knowledge to the test through his trivia app.
That's right. One Memphian is putting his knowledge to the test. In this edition of 901 Now, Action News 5's Taylor Tucker shares how the creator is making the game night for Memphians more relatable.
My game, every time the team gets a question wrong, the other team says, nah, bruh. And if you get 3 nah, bruhs, then your team automatically loses that round, and then you move on to the next round.
Is 60 seconds enough time to answer Memphis-related questions like?
Elvis, maybe barbecue-related questions, Bill Street-related questions, different celebrities, just different historical figures, whatnot.
Warren Wilson created the trivia game, Nah Bruh, in 2019. Just a few years after moving to Memphis.
It was like pretty much doing homework for 10 weeks straight. I would take a category at a time and I would just literally like scores Google and just look up all types of different interesting and rare facts.
With those facts, he created the card game turned trivia app filled with over 5,000 questions in 12 categories and 6 cities, including Memphis, Tennessee.
Make them feel included. A lot of times we play these games, we just get them from Walmart and we don't see ourselves in the game, or we don't see any questions about stuff that we commonly know about in the game. So, I just thought it'd be a cool way to kind of.
You gotta support him, man. Y'all support this app, download that, support the brother. We always talk about we want to support people doing this. What are we doing? We always talk about the negative, but the good black people and the good Memphians, they need help too. They need support.
Make the hometown people, people like feel more respectful about their hometown,
2 years after the release of Nah Bruh, Wilson hopes the people who use the app will learn more about and grow to appreciate their city and have a little friendly competition along the way.
And it's never a fair thing because I kind of came up with all the questions. So you probably don't want to play against me if we're playing the game. But I do pretty well usually.
In Memphis, Taylor Tucker, Action News 5.
You are live on the mob. What's good?
What's up, Skip? How you doing?
What's up? What's going on, Lisa?
I was calling about the MPD corruption.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time. CJ
I
Davis.
said I was calling about, yes.
All right. Holla.
So, while she was high, me personally, I feel like she was a disaster. Along with some of the things you said about her being an expert in covering things up. Because as soon as she was hired, I started hearing about her talking. I also say, I have it on pretty good authority. I know family members in PD offices, and let me just say they do not like her. They do not respect her.
You say
They
that.
don't want her.
You said you have family members that don't like her.
That
That work.
No, that I would PD. And they're in centralized units. The census of the MPD officers, and this could just be males, they don't like her. They don't want her, they can't stand her. So, do I think that she's come to the city and trying to clean up Memphis in actuality? No. But even if she was, maybe some sort of sabotage going on there too. I'm not saying it's not CJ Davis' fault, because I don't particularly care for her either. I was not impressed by her resume once I did a little bit of research. I didn't go as deep as you did. I didn't even know about Charlotte. But officers don't respect her and don't want her to eat. So I think one issue is we're going to have to get a police commissioner that the officers will actually respect. And I don't think we've had that since maybe Tony Armstrong and the white guy we had before.
I remember the one that I know mostly is, well, like all of us really know Tony Armstrong. That's probably the most recognized. And but that's her. I can imagine, there's no choice. I mean, the police officer didn't hire her. Hold on, let me see. I can put this in. I can hear you better.
And then you asked, I know the question was asked, I think you said, somebody in the chat asked as to why we don't have a lot of, younger men or even younger women, black women signing up for the role. It's because look at everything they've seen on cell phone footage and all that kind of. They're not going to sign up for this. Then when you do have the few good talks,
one second. Hold on, Lisa. Hold on, Lisa. Say that again.
I said somebody in the chat said something about why we don't have more young men, young black men, young black women signing up to be an officer.
Right.
It's because of everything that they see. Like, there's
True.
no trust for the police. And then the few good officers that we do have, they're very few, but there are some, and I'm married to one. They get lumped in with the bad one too, because it's majority bad, right? One
True.
bad apple pours the whole bunch, but we got whole bad horses.
True.
MPD.
I'm just saying, even the Scorpion unit, that was us doing it to us. So you gotta think we saw Rodney King, right? We saw, this is 50 years of this going on, at least.
And even me being interactions with MPD officers where I've been snatched out of cars by the back of my pants. So, and guns drawn on me and surrounded by 2 and 3 officers twice in my life.
Yeah.
And one time, okay, I may have been doing a little something, but the other time, I wouldn't. So it goes back to experiences, and until we start experiencing good policing, nobody's going to want to sign up for that job.
Yeah.
I wish my husband was, if I'm being completely honest.
So what's the solution?
I don't know, bro. I don't know if it is a solution. It's so deeply ingrained in us to not mess with the police, and they keep giving us reasons every day.
I said this though. I feel like this. I feel like police fear us and we fear police. I don't know if I want to say like I'm a sellout saying like we ain't scared, but I think like police, the image that they put out black people through the media, and I'm not saying these people aren't doing things, but that's not the only thing black people are doing. But if you look at the images you see where it comes to rap videos, rap music, movies, and just the news or whatever, and some of the things that they push that we're doing, you never see like college students that are like, they don't push that image. I'm not saying it's not happening, but anyway, the image that's pushed causes police to be on alert when they see us. I think other black people are on alert when they see each other, like due to the stuff that they see about and read about us.
Or things that they've experienced.
Right. So I mean,
I think it goes back to the whole reason for this podcast. We got to realize things. And once we do that, I think other things will fall into place. So that's the universal question.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I appreciate that. I ain't heard from you in a minute on the show, so we definitely thank you.
I know, because I told dinner all day. So I be listening, but I can't always solve it.
I feel, yeah, I understand that. Thank you, though. Thank you for that input. All right.
Anytime.
All right. Bye. Yeah. Yes. Great. So I enjoyed this, man, with all of my. Also, next week, I should have said something about it earlier. We are throwing a back to school talent show for the youth. Run Memphis, nonprofit. We ain't just talking about it, we're doing about it. I have the flyers and the dates and everything. You guys are probably gonna hear about it on the radio. Yeah, we're gonna have the kids out there showing out, doing their things. Kind of live DJ. We started out with what we did at Orange Mound Park. So, and first Sundays. I hope some people took that. The first Sundays coming up. My family that's watching, y'all holler at me. We gotta do that. I tell them about where we going. And it's time for a new restaurant, people. Now, first Sundays, by the way, ain't just about going to restaurants. We might be at the house eating some of that good fried fish. Right? There are 84 scholarships being passed out in the Memphis surrounding areas to young black students going to college. So they're getting a full scholarship to 84. I'm assuming they're going to have to be black students if they're going to HBCU. So, yeah, that's a good look. There's some positive news. Use those tax dollars for the right thing and help our youth out. But, yeah, the feds taking pictures. The feds are still in Memphis. And then, like I said, if I know all of that stuff that I know about that, and then as you can see, the chat mob knows as well. Just makes you wonder what the officials already know. But we're gonna continue to expose all of these things, until we keep building momentum. I appreciate everybody watching the show, even the people that you're inviting, messages y'all send me. We're gonna keep doing this. It's the Memphis Over Bull Show, and we out.
In your city with them stoners, bend the corner, bend the corner. I'm in Portland in that foreign, that's a thong. Straight out the corner. Smoking loud from Seattle, supersonic. We on that loud. We been drinking, ain't no driver, Uber coming. About a cloud. On that moon rock, cause I'm a shooting comet. Cause I'm a star. I'm on that moon rock, so I be walking on it. Straight out the jar. In the country, out the country, I'm just country. Country grandma. Horsepower, make a nigga act a donkey. Catch me riding through your city, bend the corner, bend the corner. Every time I leave the bank, I bend the corner, I bend the corner. H-Town, A-Town, California. We on the block, burning gas, burning rubber, bend the corner. We bout to jump. I'm passing that gas, while my foot smashing that gas, and my car passing that ass. Got a $100 on my dash. Catch me riding through your city, bend the corner, bend the corner. Every time I leave the bank, I bend the corner, I bend the corner. In your city, bending corners, copping guns. Oh, where is that? I just drive through that corner like McDonald's. Pick up that sack. I just pull up on the mama like a mom. Kobe Bryant at a lunch, smoking gas. We be lunching. I got blue dot in my cup with a red dot in their head. When I came through the check, I made all them heads drop dead. I got paint like hell and these watch like feds. About to cute that club, let that whole pocket like red. Catch me riding through your city, bend the corner, bend the corner. Every time I leave the bank, I bend the corner, I bend the corner. H-Town, A-Town, California. We on the block, burning gas, burning rubber, bend the corner. We bout to jump. I'm passing that gas, while my foot smashing that gas, and my car passing that ass. Got a